What is up, you guys? Brad and Derek back here with episode number 84. It's been a while since we last spoke because last week there was nothing going on worth talking about. Well, there was some stuff, but not a lot of stuff to do a full show. If we did it last week, we probably would have done 30 minutes.
Maybe even if that, honestly.
Maybe even 20 minutes. But there's like more stuff to talk about. A couple movies we watched.
Yep. A movie you watched.
Two movies I watched.
Yeah.
I didn't even tell you the movie I watched yesterday.
Oh, all right.
A documentary I watched today on HBO.
Okay.
And much more. This is called A Brew for Two, and the point of the podcast is we like to have a drink with the podcast. Yeah. But we've already we did pre-drinking before the podcast, so it's
If you can't tell, Brad's a little. He's already had 3 beers, so he's already getting there.
Getting there. No, I'm not there. I'm okay, actually. The thing with when you're drinking when I'm drinking domestic beer, it doesn't kind of take that really big effect on me.
Yeah.
But if I'm drinking crap, like I'll have like 3 bottles of Canadian, right, and I'll still feel okay.
Yeah, craft beer for some reason just always hits you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We went to me and Derek and my father. We went to Blackburn Brew House down the street from my house. So we went there. We had a couple beers, had some pizza, had some wings, had a wrap.
Yeah,
nice place.
A place called Blackburn Brew House. It's quite nice. It's a little secret here in Niagara Falls because I would say not a lot of people really know about it, and where it is, it's kind of out of the way of a lot of the tourists.
Yeah,
people.
It's like there's 3 craft breweries in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
There's Niagara Brewery, which is on Clifton Hill.
Yeah. There's
Counterpart Brewery, which is on the sketchy side of Stanley Avenue.
Yeah.
Like on the old Stanley Avenue. And then there's this one, Blackburn Brew House. And out of the 3, I give I've been to all 3, and if I rate them in order, I rate them Blackburn Brew House number 1, number 2 Counterpart, number 3 Niagara.
Yeah. Well, Niagara more or less I think it's because it's in the tourist trap of Niagara Falls. It's just
Niagara, and they charge too much for their beer.
Yeah. Well, because they can't, because they're on Clifton Hill, so it's kind of they can, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's kind of been a slow week. To catch you up on what we've been doing, I got a new Xbox Series S. Not the X, the S, because I'm an adult and I can't afford a $700 Xbox Series X. So
it wasn't $700, but it was. You didn't really need it. I mean, the S is fine for you. For how much you actually play video games.
Like honestly, like we're slowly getting to the point of the world where we don't need disc trays anymore. Yeah. So
pretty much everything is. I mean, I don't remember the last time I even bought a disc for a game. For me, it probably would have been Fallout 76 when that came out, like 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't even know anymore.
The unfortunate things for this is for Xbox users. If you get the Xbox Series and that Xbox users that haven't upgraded yet to the new system, if you get an Xbox Series S, you'll still have your save content from your discs, from your games you have on disc. Yeah. Though you won't be able to have those games games you had on discs, you won't be able to have them on because you didn't download them.
I think there's still possibly a way to
there probably is
link the game to your account so you can play it.
Yeah.
You can download and play it. There has to be a way to do that. But
because I had to rebuy a game.
Yeah.
And stuff is expensive on the Xbox store. I don't know why.
I don't know. Well, games are expensive in general for whatever reason. Like
new games are expensive. New games are.
Well, it's not just new games. It's just for some reason these companies still think that they should charge the same amount for a disc copy that they do a digital, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I think they would sell triple what they sell for a digital if it was half the price as a disc.
Sure. For sure they will. For sure there is. So I bought an Xbox Series S, and the first game I bought for it was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah. It's a solid game. I give it like an 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Like they picked I like all the Assassin's Creed games, Have I played all of them? No.
Yeah.
But I like them because I love history.
Yeah.
And so the last Assassin's Creed game I played was Black Flag because for some reason, and I was watching the Netflix series Explained earlier this week, and for some reason, even though pirates are terrible people, people love pirates.
Oh, people are fascinated with them. Oh yeah.
So the one Assassin's Creed game I played was Black Flag.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoyed that to a point, but I was kind of getting tired of the pirate battles on the ships. So that's why I kind of lost interest in the game.
Yeah, that's like the opposite of a lot of people. Like that was the best part of Black Flag for a lot of people.
Yeah,
like for like I would say like 95% of people, that's why they play it.
I just could never like aim and shoot and stuff. Like even like when I'm playing Valhalla, aiming is kind of a problem with me.
Yeah,
because it's like you're aiming your arrow at somebody's head, and then it's like, oh shit, they saw me. Like, and then it's like, and then you trigger like a battle that you never wanted to happen.
I loved Black Flag, and then I loved Assassin's Creed 3. Like,
when I was playing Valhalla earlier, like I came across like I was following a point on the map, and I came across a spot that was heavily guarded, and everybody saw me. I'm like, guys, can I just get to that point I want? I don't want to fight you.
Please, I don't want to be here. Like I'm just kind of here for the time being. Like.
But yeah, so and like the next game I played out of that was after Black Flag was I'm gonna get this mixed up. The one where they're in Britain and it's like the first it's the first game where you can it's the first multiplayer one. Syndicate. And like I loved it. I loved that game. But like I kind of lost interest in that game. But like because when I got that game for the Xbox One, there were so many games out for the Xbox One that there was so much stuff that I didn't lose interest in any of them. Yeah. Like I didn't lose interest in any of the other games I had, but I lost interest in Assassin's Creed. Luckily for the Xbox Series S though, or X, there's not a lot of games out right now for the Xbox.
No, not a lot of new ones.
Not a lot of new ones. But
maybe at Game Pass, so you have a crap ton of games.
Yeah, with Game Pass, you have a crap ton of games.
But there's nothing really new yet.
But like Assassin's Creed Valhalla was one of the new games that came out.
Yeah. Well, and Cyberpunk technically, if you wanted to play that, I heard it's a lot better now.
Oh, did you?
They fixed a lot of stuff with it.
It lost interest for me.
Yeah,
like completely.
Yeah. So apparently, it is a lot better now than it was, but still.
So like I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla and like Vikings. That's a like kind of like cool. Yeah. Like Vikings are like. Even like pirates, they're terrible people, but people just haven't interested in Vikings.
Yeah.
And like it got me thinking, like, where could Assassin's Creed go next? Like, and a lot of people want them to go to ancient Japan.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, their next game, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but apparently they want to make kind of an MMO for Assassin's Creed. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. I don't know if you're going to be able to. Yeah. Massively multiplayer online. Like an open world game. Like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah. But that's why from what I understand that's possibly the next direction for the next Assassin's Creed, but
I was kind of thinking for like the next direction of the Assassin's Creed. Like I don't know if because the Assassin's Creed lore for me, I don't really have that like deep of a knowledge for lore. Yeah. But like I would like them to go into like to ancient like Canada, like the 1800s Canada or like the 1700s Canada, or like
really ancient.
What?
Not really ancient.
Well,
it's like 200 years ago.
I know, but like Canada, the first coming ups of Canada, and like with the indigenous people, and
yeah,
I that would be kind of cool. I
mean, they already did with America with Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, yeah, Assassin's Creed is a Western, but I'm like,
that's just called Red Dead Redemption.
Exactly. I'm like, Ubisoft would have a terrible time. Ubisoft would get sued by Rockstar, and then a lot of fans also want like kind of like maybe like the Braveheart era of Scotland.
Yeah.
Like that would be kind of cool, or the King Arthur King Arthur administration.
That's the thing with Assassin's Creed, because it's not really one. It's never been a real linear game.
Like there is a kind of story to it.
There is to a certain
but nobody really wants to play the story. Everybody wants to play
everyone wants to play as an assassin. No one wants to play as like the person the Animus is.
Like even I said, it was like when the girl woke up from the machine, and like, why do I have to play as her? Like,
yeah. It's like, oh, cool. I'm gonna walk over to this van, then walk back to this cabin, and then go back on the Animus. Why? Like, what the fuck? Like, so. Yeah,
and then but I give this game a 7.5 out of 10 because there is some glitches. Like this one, I was playing this one side mission because it's very much similar. It's very much similar to Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA, in the GTA games, where you have a main mission, but you can also do these side missions and get all these loot items, I guess. And
and upgrade your character to the point where you go to the main missions and you're kind of just running through everything.
Yeah, exactly. But there's this one glitch where like this guy is like, oh, like the white elves call me and I need to follow their directions, and you show this blind man where to go, and then you get to this bridge and he won't cross the bridge for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I did some research and was like, why isn't this helping? Why? And it's like, oh, you have to kill all the enemies in the area. Well, there are none. So this guy's not crossing the bridge because there's no, and I was just like, like I tried once, like multiple times to do this side mission, and I was like, what is happening? And it was like, and then I watched a YouTube video of somebody doing it like flawlessly, and it was just like, oh, okay, but that enemy was not there when I got to the island, so I don't know what happened. And then also there's a glitch where like you could be doing a mission, but then all of a sudden you're falling off a cliff, and then you die, and then you have to reload, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, those little things we patched out soon. It's probably just some stupid little thing, but
so I give this game like a 7.5 out of 10. I do enjoy the era that they were in. It reminds me so much of Lord of the Rings. It's not even funny because like Lord of the Rings got a lot of their ideas from Viking culture.
Yeah,
like with the language and stuff. It's very influenced by Viking culture, and it is a fun game. It's keeping me busy during all this downtime I have from not working.
yeah.
But like, and like the downtime I have, like and I said to Derek last night, like I don't remember, like this week went by quick for me because I literally got up, turned on my Xbox, and started playing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it would be like 2 PM, and I didn't even shower or brush my teeth yet. It's just like,
hey, you know what? That's what happens with when you start enjoying a game. Really, like that's what happens. And it's not a bad thing. Get lost in the world for a little bit. It's all right.
There was only one day this week I didn't play Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And that was Friday. And the reason why is because I watched Big Brother, and I listened to the a Big Brother after show called Dick at Night, which I don't know what time he posts them, but I'm pretty sure it's late because I always go to bed and wake up the next morning and it's just there.
Yeah.
But so I watched that. I also watched a movie that came out on Disney Plus.
Which one is that now?
Jungle Cruise.
Oh, I forgot that came out. Yeah.
It's actually not that bad.
No?
It's not terrible.
That's good.
It might become the next Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Hope not.
Because when I say that, it's because Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride at Disney that they made into a movie. Yeah. Jungle Cruise kind of has that same route where it's a ride at Disney that they made into a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they can really go like 7 movies with it. Probably not.
Oh, they could. Well, Pirates of the Caribbean was set to be a trilogy, and that was it.
No, I know. Then they did like 6 or 7 movies.
They did 6.
Yeah.
But like, it was originally set to be a trilogy, so I can see them doing that with Jungle Cruise. Even though when they at the end of the movie, they kind of wrapped it up nicely and they didn't like have any like potential sequel cliffhangers.
Okay.
But with that being said, there could be a sequel because Curse of the Black Pearl didn't like was the same way, where Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl was the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and when they ended that movie, they didn't like kind of leave the worm above our fish heads trying to eat.
They did.
They didn't tease anything. No, I don't remember them teasing anything.
Yeah, at the end of it, like Jack gets his ship back, and then they're on the dock. Then the fucking pearl gets stolen again. He has to go after it again. Yeah.
I don't remember that. Yeah. I remember Jack being on the ship, but I don't remember them teasing anything for a future movie.
I'm not teasing anything, but definitely say and be like, yeah, we're probably gonna do a second one of this.
Oh yeah, they probably did, but like there was probably none of that. I found this Jungle Cruise movie Disney's answer to Indiana Jones.
Okay.
It's very like Indiana Jones with me, but it stars Emily Blunt and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson. If Dwayne Johnson wasn't in this film, it would have done poorly.
Oh, probably.
Dwayne Johnson makes this film. He's
been doing a lot of those movies lately. Between that, Jumanji and Journey to the Center of the Earth, like
Journey to the Center of the Earth came out like years ago when me and Derek were still in high school.
No.
Yeah.
The one with Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
No.
2008.
Yeah, when the second one came out.
Oh wait, that's true.
Yeah.
It was in the second one. Brendan Fraser was in the first one.
Yeah.
2012. So we were just out of high school.
I feel like that's not the right one, but I don't know why.
Journey 2 came out in. Journey 2 came out in 2012, which we were like 20 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
21. 20. Yeah. Yeah, so but yeah, it was very reminiscent of that. And then there was a twist in there which I didn't think the twist needed to be in there.
Oh yeah.
Because it was kind of a good story. And it was the classic like Dwayne The Rock Johnson is just this big knob in the whole entire movie, but then you realize he's an actual nice guy. And there's a love interest, and there's love interest between him and Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
And like I said, this could be a possible franchise movie. It just depends on how well it does.
Yeah.
Which you can get it for premium access on Disney Plus for $30. And when premium access, when it first came out, Mulan was the first movie to do that.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, because there's still only one Mulan in my mind.
Yeah.
There's not two, there's one. And it's an animated film with Eddie Murphy playing a dragon.
Yeah. Yeah. And have you watched the newest one?
No.
I watched it. It wasn't horrible, but it was definitely lacking Mushu. It definitely...
Yeah,
because there wasn't anything like Mushu in the movie, so it wasn't like. Cause honestly, Eddie Murphy made that fucking movie what it was. Like without Eddie Murphy playing Mushu, like that movie would honestly, I do not think would have been as big. I really don't.
No.
And this live action one was just not.
But like,
not really.
But
good.
lately, like after that movie, I was like, okay, I'm not paying $30 for a Mulan movie.
No.
And then they did the premiere access with Raya and the Last Sky Dragon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do this. And they did it with Soul. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And like they did it, and Mulan was their only miss for me. Like I watched Luca, I watched Soul.
It's kind of funny because I can watch all those now because they're all just free.
Yeah.
I feel like Soul was like free the next week.
No, it was free a couple months later.
I don't know, it was a couple months. I think it was like a week or two later.
It was a couple months. I remember it being a couple months later.
Maybe I just watched it online somewhere. Definitely on Disney Plus.
Maybe. That was a dark movie talking about death. A kids movie talking about death.
That is not a kids movie. That is not.
But yeah, so Jungle Cruise. It's a good movie. 7 out of 10. Like it's just there's a lot of stuff with like, and there's a spot in the movie where Dwayne Johnson wrestles a jaguar.
Okay.
And I'm just like, but no, I called it because he's in the bar doing, that classic Star Wars scene where like Luke and Obi-Wan go to Han and tell him, oh, we need you to to drive us. We need you to fly us to Alderaan."
Yeah.
Well, they have a similar scene in this where Emily Blunt and her brother are in a bar, and Dwayne Johnson just happens to be there, and they're negotiating to find the MacGuffin of this movie, because they need to go out and find this leaf or whatever, and a jaguar pops out of nowhere to the bar, and Dwayne Johnson wrestles it, and I was like, that jaguar is actually really friendly, and it's probably, and this is a setup fight. Oh, yeah. And then turns out later on in the movie, you find Dwayne Johnson is just working on his motor for his boat, and a ball rolls across the floor, and he's like, "Not now, I'm fixing this," and then the ball rolls across the floor again. He's like, "No, not now, go away." And then the jaguar pops up that he just wrestled. Yeah. And I'm like, I called it. That was The Rock's pet all along. Like, yeah. But yeah, it's a Disney movie. Yeah. And now another movie I watched, which was not a Disney movie, it's actually a Warner Brothers movie, was Space Jam: A New Legacy. Mm-hmm. And I give this movie a 5 out of 10. Yeah. Well, a 6 out of 10. I'm gonna shoot 5.5 out of 10 because it's just.
I'm gonna shave half a point for Lola Bunny.
Yeah. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it for what it was. Yeah. It had its hits or misses with me. A hit for me was they let the Looney Tunes be the Looney Tunes. Yeah. Which is awesome. Like you had the classic part where Bugs is just like, "I claim this land in the name of Earth," and then Marvin the Martian pops out of nowhere and it's like, "I claim this land in the name of Mars," and it's just like, it's classic. And he pops up with his dog not Astro, I forget the dog's name, but he pops up with his dog, and then they do the classic Wabbit season, duck season, Wabbit season, and then Bugs Bunny like paints the tunnel and runs through it, and then LeBron James tries to follow him through the painted tunnel, and it seems to me like what they made, what like a lot of scenes I've seen of the movie, they literally just tried to not even reboot it, remake it, because a lot of the shit was the same shit they did in the first one. Yeah, a lot of the shit. Right? Yeah, I agree with you. I just call this movie there was a term for it, like a requel or something, where it's just like it's a reboot disguised as a sequel. Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Yeah, like Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. It's a reboot disguised as a sequel. Yeah. Because Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, they go to Hollywood to stop a film being made about themselves. Again. Yeah. So what happens in this one? The Looney Tunes have a basketball game against the bad guys that want to end their lives. So it's basically the same damn thing. The only scene I even found I got me to chuckle for about half a split second was the Michael B. Jordan thing. Yeah, Michael Jordan. That's not Michael A. Jordan. That's Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I was like, that got a slight chuckle out of me for about 0.5 seconds, and I'm like, that was so why the fuck? But like this is, and like I don't know if Warner Brothers is celebrating an anniversary this year or whatever, but this whole movie was a homage to Warner Brothers, because it had more than just the Looney Tunes. Like the Iron Giant was in it. I believe somewhere that like when they were filming this movie, Jim Carrey made a cameo in this movie. Okay. Because there's a scene where like all the Warner Brother characters are like, all the characters from Warner Brothers catalog are watching the basketball game, and you see somebody in the background clearly as the Mask. So I don't know if this is rumor or false or not, but I remember seeing like months ago, maybe even a year ago, of like a production photos with Jim Carrey in it. Yeah. Well, I mean, they did the Mask, and then they did the Son of the Mask, and I think they were going to do another one, but the Son of the Mask did so badly that it kind of just put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And also there was, and like Don Cheadle, he's a great actor, but his character name needed some work. He played a bad guy who was an algorithm on the computer, and his bad guy name was Al G Rhythm.
Yeah.
It was like I get it. It's a kids movie, so
but
so you have to kind of check your brain at the door with kids movies.
You know what? It's a kids movie, but this movie was not made for kids to go see. Sorry.
Yeah,
this movie, you put Space Jam on it. It's people our age going to see this movie.
Which you put Space Jam on it, and they go into a computer that they call like the network verse or something. Like you could have said cyberspace, and it would have still been like,
or just called it the internet.
No, they could. Well,
yeah, they could have. Like,
they could have just called it the internet, but like also call it cyberspace to make it like, because with in the original Space Jam, Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes gang versed one-on-one in basketball against aliens.
Yeah.
So there was a reason for it to be called Space Jam. So if they went into cyberspace, you could have still called it Space Jam. Like, this is just internet jam. Like, it's...
Yeah, but that's my whole thing. Like, this movie was not made for kids. This movie was made for our generation that has seen Space Jam growing up.
Well, a lot of people our generation have kids now. Like,
that are possibly maybe 5 to 10 years old.
The minority of our generation has kids. Like, the majority doesn't.
Yeah.
There's a couple people that have kids that are... The millennials are having kids now. So the millennials that saw Space Jam as kids are taking their kids to see this one.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just... Yeah, like I said, 5.5 out of 10 because, like, I did like the Looney Tunes bits.
Yeah.
But as the movie as a whole, I did not like it. And, like,
it's understandable, right?
But I did find it on Amazon Prime. It was there for a bit. It's probably not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
But it was there for a bit. Amazon did the same thing with Space Jam as they did with Wonder Woman.
Had to pay to watch it.
Yeah, but I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So I was just like, hey, Space Jam. I kind of want to watch this, see how it is.
Well, if you bought it, you should be able to watch it anytime you want, right?
Yeah. Well, I rented it. I didn't buy it.
Okay.
Because you had to rent it. You couldn't buy it. So those were like the two movies I watched were, yet again, Jungle Cruise and Space Jam. Now, and Space Jam came out directly on HBO Max. And Jungle Cruise was a Disney Plus feature. So
yeah.
I also watched a very interesting documentary today. It was about Woodstock 1999. And how much of a shit show that was.
Yeah, the worst thing they ever fucking did. Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Well, they tried to recapture the original Woodstock.
Which they did 5 years earlier with Woodstock '94.
Yeah.
They recaptured it because they basically, like, the bands they booked for Woodstock '94 was kind of like in the same genre as the original Woodstock.
Yeah.
Like the original Woodstock 1969. In the 60s, rock and roll was mainly folk rock.
Yeah.
With like the Rolling Stones, the Doors.
Yeah. And it was a massive, massive party that took over an entire city, and it was awesome as hell.
Well, it wasn't necessarily that awesome. Like from the stories,
it wasn't awesome for the people that like lived in those towns and like ran the businesses.
Well, no, from the Woodstock 99, the Woodstock 99 documentary I watched on HBO references that, like, from the video, from the movies and the videos and the soundtrack, you think it was an awesome 69 was awesome, but it actually wasn't. They had problems too at the venue.
Oh no, of course, yeah. There's going to be people that are going to have shit time, but I would gather to say at least 70% of the people there had a great time.
Oh yeah, no, people had a great time.
That's what I mean.
But also but it wasn't like.
No, it wasn't this like peace and love thing everybody thought it was. It was pretty much everybody was higher and kite, drunker than a skunk, and just didn't know where the hell they were.
People that probably say it was a good time because they were high as a kite or drunk. Yeah. Like it's like the same people that are like, oh yeah, Andre the Giant can drink 125 beers. Those people telling those stories are also drunk out of their minds because they were drinking with Andre the Giant. Like it's just like, So I watched this Woodstock 99 documentary, and I'm like, from the stuff like, and like me and Derek were alive back in 1999. Yeah. We were young. But like this concert, like music is always changing. And like, so the 60s popular music was folk.
Yep.
70s was punk, 80s was new wave, and 80s was metal with a taste of new wave. And then 90s was pop and grunge, and
that's what they tried to bring to Woodstock '99, and that just didn't.
Well, grunge was over. Grunge wasn't a decade-long music genre.
Yeah.
Grunge was a 5-year music genre. Grunge died because grunge music became mainstream. Because it's like, it became fashionable to wear flannel. And then everybody was like, okay, grunge is dead now. So, and then all of a sudden, new metal takes its place. Well, new metal, the problem with new metal was it was very much about aggression and attitude and which the original Woodstock wasn't, but the venue goers of Woodstock '99 were like, yeah, let's book all these popular bands like Korn and Limp Bizkit and Red Hot Chili Peppers and
they had Offspring, DMX, Buck Cherry, Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, they had an awesome lineup for what it was on paper.
Ice Cube, Mickey Hart, the Hip was there.
If I was in my 20s, if I was in my 20s during that time,
Dave Matthews Band was there too.
Yeah, Dave Matthews Band was there.
Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, Metallica.
Yeah. But people died, people got hurt. Yeah. Other things happened. There was riots that ensued because they were charging water at $4 a pop.
Yeah.
So,
which in 1999, that's a lot of money for. Well,
here's the problem though. Beer was also $4.
Yeah.
And people were like, should I buy water or should I buy beer?
Yeah.
I know it's 100 degrees outside, but should I buy water or should I buy beer? I'm going to buy beer. And a lot of people were getting dehydrated and passing out and dying because of hypothermia. And it was just not a fun time. Even the people, the headliners were like, as soon as their set were done, they're like, we're getting the hell out of here. We're not staying. And there was talks of Limp Bizkit starting a riot.
Yeah.
Because he instigating a riot because he decided to play break stuff, and then they handed out candles during the show, and then the candles, because people were pissed off, they had an interview with Moby on the because Moby was there.
Yeah.
They had an interview with Moby, who is he's a great artist. For some, he's not my taste, but he has a couple good songs.
Yeah.
Because he's not my good taste. But they had an interview with Moby, and he's like if you're a big star and you do a lot of concerts and a lot of shows, you can kind of get the vibe of the crowd when you're there.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I got there, that vibe was everybody was pissed off. Everybody was exhausted, pissed off. It was just not fun to be there. So Moby was one of the bands that were as soon as they left, as soon as their set was done, they left. And Alanis Morissette played, Jewel played. There was another, and they had another girl play. I forget her name. But they didn't have a lot of girl bands play. It was basically just one big nu metal concert. And it sounded awesome on paper, but when you throw a big festival, shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it just got out of control, and it was just talking about that Woodstock '99 was a huge dumpster fire.
Okay.
But then a very special thing happened after Woodstock '99 though. Festivals like Coachella started happening, and
because they want to do something smaller than the 4-day music festivals they were doing, right?
Yeah, festivals Woodstock, after Woodstock '99, festivals became more Coachella and Burning Man and
yeah,
and in Coachella, and the artists talk about it. That Coachella was what Woodstock 99 should have been. And it wasn't. Like they had, because the bands they had for Coachella that year lined up perfectly for what like Woodstock 60, like kind of had the same genres as like Woodstock 69 and Woodstock 94. They kind of had the same genres of that. So it was just like, yeah, that's what it should have been. Woodstock 99 should have been Coachella that year. And it wasn't because they were like, and the bands were like, would do jokes about Woodstock, would like do, not jokes, but like do nostalgic Woodstock 69 stuff. Like Creed played at Woodstock 99 and he had the guitarists for the Doors play with them. And nobody knew who the guitarist of the Door was because the audience that was at Woodstock 99 were people our age, people younger, like from 15 to 30. So that's where the average age group of that time. So anyway, I watched that documentary. It was a great documentary, kind of an 8 out of 10. I wouldn't recommend. It's a hard watch. Yeah. Because it's a hard watch because they don't shy away from the bad stuff that happened during that time period. And that was the.
Yeah. Go and watch it. It's on HBO Max. Go ahead.
Not HBO Max. Just regular HBO.
Oh, HBO.
You can get it on Crave.
HBO Max for people in the States, Crave, and HBO for us here. So.
Yeah, so it's a good watch. I found this out because Google emailed me, Crave emailed me, and it's like, here's the things you should be checking out on Crave. And I'm like, nope. Ooh! So there was that. Anything with you this week?
No, I haven't really been doing much. Just been playing WoW. I think I watched something this week. I don't know what the hell it was, so it must not have been that good, to be honest. So, yeah, I haven't really done much this week. It's just been 12, 13-hour days at work, and then just going home and going to bed. So I haven't really been doing anything.
Yeah, no, I've been staying up really late lately. Yeah, because of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like like we were talking about last night. It's one of those things where you're playing along with the missions. And then all of a sudden it's like 2 a.m. and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah,
it was this one side mission took you only 5 minutes, and then, I could do this one. It's just right here. Well, then if I do this one, I'm on my way back to the save point. I could do this one, and then it's 2 a.m. and then you're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, no. Yeah. And I could tell I when I'm playing games, I could tell I'm tired because I start getting frustrated with it. I'm like, I should go to bed.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, we got some news this week. Some of this is 2 weeks old, some of this is new stuff. But the first up, this is 2 weeks old because, like I said at the beginning, we took a break for a week. Blade has found a director. So Marvel's upcoming Blade reboot has found director after what is said to have been a thorough search that has involved meeting a variety of potential candidates since last year. The project has zeroed in on Bassam Tariq to helm the new movie, with Mahershala Ali starring as a new incarnation of the titular vampire slayer, aka the Daywalker. Per Deadline, Feige and Ali have joined studio execs in meeting with the least dozen of candidates going back to the fall. There were plans at one point to hire a writer/director to take on both the screenplay and the directing duties, but the choice was later made to separate the two. It has been announced that Oze Kafur was on board to write the script, but the search for the director was still underway. Tariq reportedly made the final cut after making the shortlist in another round of meetings over the past months. He's an up-and-coming director. Bassam Tariq is best known for writing and directing the 2020 movie Mowgli, which I've never heard of till now. Riz Ahmed co-wrote the script with Tariq and starred alongside Aisha Hart and Ali Kong. So he's an up-and-coming movie director. So he got his big break in the up-and-coming Blade movie, which is probably coming, which I don't know. It hasn't got a release date for it yet, but it should be coming soon.
There's only one Blade, and his name is Wesley Snipes, and that is my take on that.
Well, Mahershala Ali kind of has a similar story as Simu Liu, who is Shang-Chi, where Mahershala Ali found out Blade was happening and was like, and found out the Blade reboot was happening, and he's like, and he told his agent, get me on the phone with Marvel. Like,
yeah, which, I mean, cool. But I would have rather had somebody who probably deserved the role a little more instead of someone just decided to call up, hey, give me this role.
But like Mahershala Ali, he's an Oscar winner. So an Oscar winner is calling you to be like, I want this role as Blade. You're not going to say no.
But you should be, doing other people too, not just being like, well, he has one Oscar.
Well, cool. No, they probably dealt with a lot of people, but then it was like Mahershala Ali was like, yeah.
I don't know.
Also,
we'll
like
see
I
how
kind of like he fits. I find he fits in with that Wesley Snipes role.
He can fit it all he wants. My thing is like Blade for me especially was one of the first Marvel characters that I actually like really enjoyed. That was my first introduction really to Marvel. Was Blade.
Yeah.
So if they fuck this up, I'm gonna snap someone's neck.
They won't.
You don't know. You just don't know.
They won't fuck it up.
Because Blade is, as much as he is like a very big Marvel character, he's not very well known.
No,
not
he's not.
People really know who he is.
But like also like with Kevin Feige and Marvel, they do a lot of.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not gonna be a good movie. It probably will be. Realistically, my fears are probably just unjustified. It probably will be a very good movie.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know if personally I will enjoy it because, like I said, those Blade movies were my introduction to Marvel.
Yeah.
That's how I fell in love with that.
With
that
me, it
stuff.
was Spider-Man and X-Men. That was my introduction, and
I watched those, but I didn't really have the same gravitation as I did to Blade, especially.
Mm-hmm. Like, what was I gonna say?
It would have been Jessica Alba. I don't know.
But this movie's probably like their Phase 4 is already set in stone.
Yeah,
and it's probably gonna be ending with the Fantastic Four. But Blade is probably not gonna happen until at least I'm gonna say 5 years.
Probably, yeah.
Like at least 2025, 2026.
It's gonna be a while before we get anything.
Yeah,
probably any more news, honestly. Really.
Yeah, no. So it's It was supposed to be a Phase 4 movie. It was supposed to be a Phase 4 movie back, but then COVID happened. A lot of things got pushed back. So maybe 2024, 2025 we'll get Blade.
Yeah, but
I don't see it happening soon.
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Clerks 3 is in the works. Kevin Smith is finally heading back to the Quick Stop, as Lionsgate has just picked up the long gestating comedy sequel Clerks 3. The news was officially announced by the studio on Monday, and the movie has already begun pre-production in New Jersey. Shooting on the project will officially start in August, and this must be especially good news for Smith after indie filmmaking. Legend had spent many years trying to get the sequel made. As with prior Clerks movie, Kevin Smith wrote, The screenplay will return to direct Clerks 3. I'm missing a word there.
You're missing letters and words, yeah.
All major cast members are on board to reprise their roles, including Jeff Anderson as Randall Graves, Brian O'Halloran as Dante Hicks, Jay Mewes as Jay, Kevin Smith as Silent Bob, Rosario Dawson, who also reprises her Clerks 2 role as Becky for the sequel. Knowing Smith, there is likely to be as many surprise appearances from other View Askew-universe characters as well.
I can't wait for this.
I can't wait for this. You know what the plot is? Dante and Randall are making Clerks.
Oh my god. It's just so meta. It's just funny. But these movies especially when we heard that the reboot was coming.
Yeah.
I was so excited for that.
I was so excited, and it didn't disappoint.
And then we've known about this script that he wrote 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
We've known it existed, but he couldn't get anybody to buy it. Now somebody finally was like, "Yeah, we'll pick it up," because they probably were like, "Oh yeah, no, this guy makes a lot of money. This guy makes people money." Yeah, which I'm glad. I'm very, very, very excited for this. I just really hope there's just no more donkeys, Kevin Smith. Just no more donkeys, buddy.
I don't think he's gonna do any more donkeys.
You never know. You never know.
No, well, legitimately, I do. That's all, folks.
Jason Mewes was already fucking tucking his dick back and doing with
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, so like,
would you fuck me?
Yeah.
I would fuck me.
So who the hell knows what the hell this is? Because it's Kevin Smith and he doesn't hold shit back. He just does whatever the hell he wants. So
yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're already in pre-production, I guess. So I listened to his podcast, Fat Man Beyond.
Yeah.
And Kevin Smith is in New Jersey right now at the Smodcast Castle, he likes to call, and that's where they do their pre-production script reading and stuff like that. And like they're doing stuff at Kevin Smith's house too, and Quick Stop and RST Video, and which I don't know how they're gonna do RST Video because video stores aren't popular anymore.
No, but they are still around, so
yeah,
it could very be possible.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I can't wait for this movie to come out. Funny enough, Clerks wasn't my first Kevin Smith movie I watched.
No, mine was Dogma.
Mine was Clerks 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
I went from Clerks 2 to Mallrats, to I think Chasing Amy, and then Dogma. And then I decided to watch the original Clerks.
My first, I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, this was years and years ago. My first one might have been Mallrats, and then Dogma, and then whatever else I watched after that. But I don't.
Chasing Amy is still my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
That's a good movie. Yeah,
it's a good movie. Yeah. And Mallrats and Chasing Amy.
Mallrats is fantastic. Yeah.
The kid is still on the escalator, like. But yeah, I'm super excited this is happening.
Yeah. This is gonna be great, and this is. I mean, we'll see if he does any more after this, because I mean, he's done the one that he wanted.
I think this will be his swan song. I think he's done after this. This will be his swan song.
So this movie is gonna have probably everybody possible he can get. Guarantee it. Everyone in the VSQ universe will probably make a cameo appearance in this movie.
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
Everybody's looking for that girl to bring you to lasagna to work. Most of them just cheat on you. We have some Batgirl news. Casting is underway. Well, the new Batgirl. So when I say this news is 2 weeks old, it is 2 weeks old because literally I have here Batgirl casting is underway for the Warner Brothers and DC upcoming Batgirl solo film, with the team getting ready to test several actors for the lead role as Barbara Gordon as earlier as this week. According to Deadline, several actors are getting ready to test the role for Batgirl, though the exact list is still being finalized. Some of the actors gearing up for the cowl include Isabella Merced, who was in Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I'm guessing she played Dora.
I assume so. I have no idea.
Zoe Dutch, who was in Zombieland Double Tap, and Leslie Grace, who was in the Heights. But they did cast Leslie Grace from In the Heights, which In the Heights is this musical about living in Washington Heights in New York City and the poverty and stuff like that. And, it's a great film. I heard, but I've been meaning to watch it, but it's not on anything I know of.
It's probably on something American or realistically.
When I heard this Batgirl movie coming out, I had the perfect casting in mind, and that was Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yep.
I feel like she would be she was Hit Girl on Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2. So I'm like, that would be a perfect.
So you know she can do the stunts. You know she can do everything she needs to do. Like,
but from the names here, they weren't going.
Nope.
They weren't going that way. They weren't going in that direction.
They weren't. They weren't gonna have a white girl do it. That's basically what we're saying. Everything's got to be diversified now, so they weren't gonna have a white girl do it. Even though in every comic she's white.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I mean,
whatever. This works. It's fine.
It's probably gonna be good.
It's probably gonna be good. Like I think the Flash movie that's coming out is gonna set up the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Because freaking Beetlejuice. He's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He's coming back as Bruce Wayne because he was the Batman in the 1989 movie Batman. And he's coming back to play Bruce Wayne, and he's going to be the older Bruce Wayne. He's not going to be the young man Bruce Wayne anymore. He's going to be the older Bruce Wayne. So and I heard, rumor has it, that he's going to be the Nick Fury to the DC world. So, and if that's the case, then he's gonna have somebody under his wing, and they're probably gonna do the Batman Beyond story, but except have Terry McGinnis have Batman Beyond as Barbara Gordon, and have Batgirl instead of.
And honestly, before anybody decides to call us racist because they're casting a black girl instead of a white girl, it's not being racist. It's just
Latina.
It's not being racist. It's just I personally, when you have a very long history of somebody just being. Honestly, not even just white. It's just, it is white. As long as you have a long history of someone in the comic books and all the other movies and everything else, and then you decide just to change it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do it. But, I just like consistency personally. I don't give a shit that I don't really care that she's Latina, whatever. Yeah. I just like consistency with things. Just keep things, I don't know, the same because they worked. It's just. Anyways. So Batgirl's coming out. It was originally slated as an HBO Max movie. Okay.
But then they were like, let's just do this on the big screen. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because
everything's gonna be open now, so they can, right?
Yeah,
so.
They can, but also like they were also worried that Batgirl didn't have enough strength to carry her own big movie.
I'll be honest, I don't think it really does, but we could be surprised with this movie.
But Supergirl carried her own series
it's a little different, I think. It's a little different.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you got a point.
Yeah, because that was number one. It's also a TV show, so that's a completely different scenario than a feature length movie.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll
I wonder if the Batgirl, if she is playing Barbara Gordon. So this is gonna be. I wonder if they're gonna, I wonder if Robin's gonna be in it. I wonder if Dick Grayson's gonna be in it.
It's possible
because Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon dated.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's gonna be in it.
Because
I know for a fact that every Batman movie that has come out has completely ignored Robin, except for
Batman and Robin.
Except for Batman and Robin, and
that's a horrible movie.
and the one with Two-Face in it.
Yeah.
And the Riddler as Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
But except for those two movies, like it kind of everybody forgot about Robin.
Yeah.
And
I wonder. Everyone forgot about Robin in like those movies, but if you hadn't watched any of the TV shows, like Robin isn't like a crapload of them.
Yeah.
Whether he's Robin or Red Hood or Nightwing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But like I'm curious if they're gonna have Nightwing in this. If Batgirl is being played by
we'll see,
Barbara Gordon's going to be...
They can pretty much go whatever way they want right now, right? Because there's no actual established universe for DC anymore.
No,
so,
it's...
As far as the movies go, there's no established universe. So
It's kind of like, how spaghetti's cooked? You throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. And that's what they're doing. They're throwing things at the wall and seeing if it sticks.
Yeah, I just wish they would stop doing it. Just let it die.
Yeah.
Let it die.
Yeah. Speaking of something that's being brought up from the dead.
Yeah.
District 10. So back in 2009, there was a movie called District 9. It dealt with aliens and humans living amongst each other, and some guy gets infected by an alien.
Yeah. And
he starts turning into one himself. And yeah, that happened. So, but now we're getting a sequel to it. Following the recent confirmation that long-awaited sci-fi sequel, District 10, is now being written, director Neil Blomkamp, that's a funny last name, has offered some details as to why he has now decided to return to the world of the 2009's District 9. 2009 was a funny year because we had District 9, and then we also had the movie 9 come out all in 2009.
Yeah. I almost wonder if someone did think about that, but didn't.
According to Blomkamp, it was a particular matter in American history that last inspired the filmmaking to finally start development on the sequel. Well, Blomkamp does not go into details on what exactly the topic is, nor whether it is something from U.S. recent history or America's past. It should come as little surprise to learn that District 10 will once again be a historical slash on politics driven allegory, much like its critically acclaimed predecessor.
Yeah, we've been waiting 10, 11, 12 years now for this movie, and probably gonna be waiting at least another movie or two. Another year or two, I'd assume.
Yeah.
But I'm I very much so liked District 9, and I was very much so hoping they were going to do a sequel. Then it never came.
Yeah.
And then I kind of forgot about it, and then I watched it again on Netflix like a month or two ago, and I was like, I really want a sequel to this. And then now we have the news that it's happening.
It's happening. I just wonder what historical, like, what U.S. history thing they're going to take next.
I don't know.
Maybe like the Black Lives Matter movement. Maybe the aliens are being mistreated by the human police, and
it's very possible. Yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe something different. I don't know. But the last movie left off as he's now an alien.
No, he's now an alien. But the thing was, like, the whole thing was like the ship left. It was going to get reinforcements. So that was the whole reason. It was like, yeah, just the next one. Yeah, when's it coming? And then it never came because they were supposed to come back 5 years later, I believe it was.
Yeah.
The 2014. Everyone was kind of expecting another movie, but then we never got it. So
yeah,
it was 5 or 6 years. Whatever it was. I don't know exactly what it was.
Well. The filler movie we got though was Chappie, because that's what the movie he did after District 9 was Chappie.
Yeah, but I mean, even then it was
Anyways,
I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So District 10's coming out, and it's gonna be exciting. We're getting a live action Pokemon series on Netflix, so this sounds fun. Netflix is working on a live action Pokemon series headed up by Lucifer's Joe Henderson, so something tells me he's a Pokemon fan. According to Variety, Henderson is slated to write and executive produce the live-action adaptation. He's currently the co-showrunner on Netflix's popular Lucifer series based on the DC comic. Reports say the series is aiming to replicate Detective Pikachu, a 2019 live-action Pokemon movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Justin Smith. Justice Smith played the main character, while Ryan Reynolds did the voice for Pikachu.
Yeah,
it was pretty good actually. However, Netflix's series is its own independent production. Henderson, previously known for the show Almost Human, Almost Human was a show about what if a ghost, a werewolf, and a vampire all lived together.
Yeah, basically.
Has been serving as Lucifer's co-showrunner since 2016 and moved with the series when it was picked up by Netflix. It is now one of the most popular revivals Netflix has acquired from the cable network. The Pokemon live-action series is reportedly in the very early stages of development, and there is neither plot details nor casting plans in place.
I'm down for this.
I'm down for this series too.
It's gonna be like on the style of Detective Pikachu, so more than likely.
Well, it says it's gonna be its thing on its own, so it's probably not.
No, but it's probably gonna be more like that style, like the live action, like Detective Pikachu was, right?
Yeah. So, I'm kind of curious on, like, is it gonna have child actors or is it gonna have broody teenagers?
Who knows?
And
I don't know.
And
I'm definitely down. I definitely cannot wait for this to come out, though. It's another. It'll probably be the first Pokemon series I watch in
20 years.
At least, yeah, like 15 to 20 years at least, yeah.
Yeah, the same with me probably, because like it's. I'm gonna attempt to watch it, and I'm gonna see, like, is the main character gonna start off with Pikachu or gonna start off with one of the other starters? I feel like they need.
Thing we don't know if it's gonna go. What is it gonna go off of? Right? Is it gonna go off the first generation or the second or third, or what's it gonna do?
I feel like they need to distance themselves from Pikachu. I feel like because.
Yeah, I think that should be their own thing, but also I think Pikachu is too big of something not to do it, to have Pikachu in it.
Yeah, like, have Pikachu in it, but maybe not have him as a starter.
Yeah,
because that's going to be like,
Pikachu was never a starter for Ash in the first place, right?
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
Well, he couldn't. Well, he woke up late, ran to the Professor Oak, and there was no Pokemon left available.
Yeah, but he had this bitchy ass Pikachu.
Yeah,
he's like, here you go, kid. And it's like, well, no, there would have if you would have woke up earlier, there would have been a Bulbasaur, a Charmander, or a Squirtle there for him. So
because, like, in the manga, there's Red and Blue.
Yeah, and
Red gets Charmander and Blue gets Squirtle.
Yeah,
or no.
Yeah,
Blue gets Bulbasaur.
No, Green gets Bulbasaur. No. There is a Pokemon Green.
No. In the Japanese manga, Blue gets Bulbasaur.
Okay.
I think, and then they switched it for the American manga.
Oh, probably, but that's the one we'll know. We're not gonna worry about the freaking Japanese manga.
I know, but Red got Charmander, Blue got Squirtle, and then they released that movie that was more. They released that Japanese sub movie. I forget what it was called, but it was like an anniversary movie of the games.
Yeah, I don't
or
remember.
the manga or something, and it was like, and it followed the adventures
Okay, say that again. What is it called?
What?
Manga?
Manga.
There you go.
I'm pronouncing it wrong. I know, because I'm a white guy. I pronounce it wrong.
It was really easy to say manga.
Manga. I always pronounce manga and manga. I always pronounce it wrong.
I know.
But it followed the adventures of Red and Blue.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a badass Pokemon movie because it didn't follow the adventures of Ash and his whininess.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely down for this. So this would be cool.
And his donuts that are obviously rice balls.
Yeah.
Poor kids.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm down for this. I
hope it's good.
I hope it's good, and I'm curious. I'm just curious of what starters they're gonna use, because
I'm curious what generation is gonna be in. Is it gonna be
because there's like
the newest
there's
generation?
like 10 generations of Pokemon now.
That's what I mean. So we just don't know what they're gonna go with.
Yeah.
Which is equally exciting as it also is. They could really choose like a bad couple starters.
I'm guessing they're gonna do Gen 1 starters.
Very possible, yeah.
And the last bit of news we have for tonight, Hawkeye, we got a release date for Hawkeye.
Yep.
Marvel Studios has finally announced the premiere date for Disney Plus's forthcoming MCU series, Hawkeye, featuring the return of Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton and the introduction of Haley Steinfeld as the fan favorite Marvel hero Kate Bishop. The series is officially slated to make its debut on Wednesday, November 24th. In addition, the first official image from Hawkeye has also been revealed, providing us a new look at MCU's newest superhero duo. In a recent interview with EW, Entertainment Weekly, Renner has shared some new details about his new co-star's character, revealing that Kate Bishop's arrival will bring a whole new set of problems to the original Avenger. So Kate is a 22-year-old kid, and she's a big Hawkeye fan. She has a wonderfully annoying and equally charming manner about her because she's such a fangirl of Hawkeye. A relationship grows from that. But the biggest problem for Clint is Kate Bishop and the onslaught of problems that she brings into his life. It is seemingly confirmed that the series will be set 2 years after Avengers Endgame, which is a big gap because the last Marvel stuff we had was 6 months and a day. And it's being heavily speculated that it would finally be adapting one of Hawkeye's prominent storylines from the comics where Clint loses his hearing. The series will feature MCU newcomers including Vera Farmiga, Frey Fee, Alaqua Cox, Tony Dalton, thank you for the easy name, and Zane McLaren, and Brian Darcy James. Oscar nominee Florence Pugh, who recently made her debut as Yelena Belova in Black Widow, is reportedly set to appear in the series. So where Black Widow left off was that Florence Pugh is mad at Hawkeye for killing her sister, but that's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
So they're going to play off that, so she's going to be after him. There's rumor mills saying that Vincent D'Onofrio, who played Kingpin in the Daredevil series, is going to make his appearance in Hawkeye as Kingpin. So there's rumor mill of that. But we're going a long gap without an MCU series now.
Yeah, I didn't realize actually who Haley Steinfeld was for a little bit.
She's that little girl she's the little girl from the movie that came out with Matt Damon and
Bumblebee.
What?
Well, she was also in Bumblebee. She was the main actress in Bumblebee.
Yeah, she was the main actress in Bumblebee, but she got her big break off of the movie that they remade. They remade a John Wayne movie with Matt Damon and who's the dude?
The dude
in Big Lebowski. What's his name? I'm blanking on his name.
Oh my god.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they remade a movie with Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon.
Oh, True Grit.
True Grit. Yeah. So
she's in that. Yeah, she's in that. Yeah.
So that she was a little girl in that, and that movie gave her a big break. And then she was in Pitch Perfect 2 and 3, and that gave her even her big.
Yeah, and then she was in Bumblebee.
And then she was the character
in
Bumblebee.
And she's also a singer too, apparently.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, she's a pretty good singer.
So.
But yeah, so this seems like it's gonna be a fun series. Big gap, though it's gonna be a big gap. Between.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think we're getting any Marvel before then, are we? No,
we're getting What If.
Yeah,
we're getting What If, and then that's gonna lead into Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
and then
this, I think, right?
And then, hold on.
Are we getting multiverse? No, we're not getting multiverse. What the hell am I saying? Oh, I don't know if you've seen today. There was a little bit of there was a multiverse trailer. Yeah.
Was there?
Apparently.
Oh.
I haven't looked into it, but
okay. So here we go. So the Marvel slate is we're gonna get What If, and we're gonna get Shang-Chi, and then we're gonna get Eternals. Then we're gonna get the Hawkeye series. The Hawkeye series is gonna then lead into the Spider-Man movie. So that's the Marvel slate as of right now. I don't think I'm missing anything. I apparently not missing anything. But so they're setting up the Hawkeye series right now. Like I said, and they're setting up this Hawkeye series because where Black Widow left off, Hawkeye is going to probably pick up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. This series is gonna be great. I mean, all the Marvel series have been absolutely fantastic so far. So
yeah, and I'm stoked for What If.
Yeah.
Stoked for What If. So that is it for the news.
Yep.
For this week, July 31st. Now we're gonna get to On This Day in Film and Television History. Nothing happened.
All right, there you go. Nothing happened. That's it.
Nothing happened. Yeah, nothing.
Say it's one of those weeks, right? Just
yeah.
That's all.
Oh wait, hold on. 1974, the 6th annual San Diego Comic-Con opens at the El Cortez Hotel. So there you go. That was it. Pretty much it. And if hopefully I'm still on because I remember because a couple weeks ago we had problems.
Yeah, no, you're good. No,
okay,
we're
so
good.
now time to plug some stuff. If you want to follow the podcast, we are on all social media at A Brew for Two on Facebook, at A Brew for Two on Twitter, at A Brew for Two podcast on Instagram, A Brew for Two on Facebook.
Yep.
Just type it in. We're there. We're the pictures of us cheersing.
Yep. Same on YouTube and yep.
We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Same credentials. Just type in A Brew for Two. You'll find us. If you want to follow me or Derek, I'm at agingerfriend92 on Instagram, Twitter, and all social media.
And I'm at King Derek on everything.
And cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.